Okay. Sherman, set the Wayback Machine for 3 years ago.
Hello and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we review everything good and bad, old and new. Today we are going to look at the cult classics Tron and Tron Legacy.
Now that's what I'm talking about!
So would you say this is one of your top films?
Kind of. I saw it once when I was young on TV one Christmas. I would have been about 10,
Okay.
I think. Just kind of blew my tiny mind. The visuals still, I think, look unlike anything else, for good or bad. And the idea of going into a computer/video game, you know, a 10-year-old me was just like, this is this is amazing.
I can imagine that, because when I watched it I said, why did I not see this when I was 10? I would have loved it.
Right, yeah.
Ready? Ready.
And yet it hadn't been a huge success
Yeah.
for Disney in 1982, or not. It had done okay, but it wasn't like what they had been banking on.
Yeah, it's not. One thing I'd say about it's not a very accessible film. You need to be a bit of a geek, I guess, or...
Yeah.
Now, you're the best program that's ever been written. You're dogged and relentless, remember?
Let me at him.
That's the spirit. Now, keep that tank rolling, and I'll try to cover you from this end. Go.
You know, it's definitely got its issues.
Yeah.
And I think one of them is possibly needed to do a sort of Wizard of Oz sort of thing, where you've got the first 20, 25 minutes in the real world following these characters, Kevin Flynn, Alan, and the girl, can't remember her name. And then you get that great transportation scene where he gets lasers up, and then you're suddenly like, what is this? Where are we? We're not in Kansas anymore.
I think definitely. I think most of the issues with it is storytelling issues, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think it was way ahead of its time in many respects. And yeah, I struggled with it, but at the same time I loved it. Yeah, I mean, that transition scene from the real world to the computer world is just stunning. I mean, it's incredible. Nothing else looks like that, even today.
It's known for its a lot of use of pure CGI at the time, but a lot of it is actually like animation.
Oh yeah.
When we're seeing the actual human characters and stuff, a lot of that is backlit animation. There's lots of different layers.
Yeah, a lot of composite shots made up a lot of layers, like you said. And camera shots are static because that's the only way they could do it back then, and there's not much movement.
It was so expensive and so time consuming that I just think they never did it ever again. The only time you ever see anything like that is when you get a homage to Tron. There's been like South Park did an episode.
Okay.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone were fans, and I think The Simpsons has done it as well.
Homer, this is your physician, Dr. Julius Hibbert. Can you tell us what it's like in there?
It's like, did anyone see the movie Tron?
No.
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 Yes. I mean, no. No.
So it's all taking place inside this NCOM computer, which is I think that's maybe one of the things. I mean, I'm just going to list a heap of things that's like wrong with Tron while I'm also praising it up. But there's not a kind of much of a real world consequence, and there's no sort of ticking clock. And I think both those things could probably be quite easily remedied. There's a slight hint at it with the Master Control Program when it threatens it's going to hack the Pentagon and then the Kremlin because it's craving power and knowledge and control.
That's right. I think there could have been more of that.
Yes.
Because there wasn't enough tension in the film. That's where I thought it was a bit like Skynet. If he could connect to the Pentagon and Kremlin, then he's got control.
And that's when I think it could have benefited a bit from going back into the real world, seeing Alan, Dillinger, the Master Control Program in the real world. It's hacking into the Pentagon, and it's trying to hack into the Kremlin. If you've got that ticking clock, you've got the real world consequences.
Yeah.
And you maybe got Flynn kind of coming to realise, oh, there's more important things than my video games that I designed. As much as that, he's obviously got a point.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a little thin in terms of that this is his his motivation.
No, I mean, I think that's just the issues with it. It was the story, really. I mean, they got so much right, and it was so unique because it's not something that everyone can watch and get into. I think people are sending a lot of people to sleep, probably.
There's a 68.71% chance you're right.
Cute.
End of line.
I do still enjoy watching it, and all the more so now that there's a solid sequel that came out.
Yeah.
28 years later.
7, 6, 11, 5, 4.
He actually did it. I'm on the grid.
I mean, in 2010, I liked Tron Legacy. I'm close to loving it now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's a lot more story put into the overall story, I think. And then it's a film, maybe you see different things in it the more you watch it. I get the feeling it might be that. I've only seen it the once.
more recent viewings of it, you know, I really like the father-son aspect of it. Maybe that's, I wasn't a father at the time and I am now, so that might be part of it. Jeff Bridges gets a good kind of character arc in it, which you know, as we've said, he didn't really get in the first one.
You're here. You're here.
Again, I appreciated it at the time, but I think looking back on it now, I think it still looks like amazing to me. 10, 12 years later, I think it's got a really strong visual look that's consistent throughout the whole thing.
And we see a de-aged Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying like the visual effects are amazing, but yeah, that might be the one caveat.
There were some shots that were quite arty with the lighting and it looked effective, but then when he turns to camera fully lit, it's like, oh, okay, it's not quite
Yeah, they're not quite
working.
there yet.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Also, you get this, we see some kind of newsreel footage of Kevin Flynn. They kind of portray him as he's kind of going a bit Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, there's a nice parallel with a scene where we see him kind of addressing a big crowd. He comes across as quite egotistical and bordering on a little bit, maybe not evil, but getting there. And then that's kind of like nicely mirrored with Clue, who basically says something similar later on to his army, who are about to, you know, invade our world.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's a nice kind of parallel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is maybe where the film starts to kind of just slightly kind of sag a little bit for me at this point. It just does that thing where we've got a lot of information to kind of impart back and forth, so they do that by just sitting at a table and having a discussion.
Yeah.
And I just think there's an opportunity there to do something a bit more interesting maybe.
I agree, yeah. It's kind of started to get a bit dull there, I thought.
But we quickly get back into it with when we go to the end of Line Club and we meet Michael Sheen's character.
Libations for everybody! I'm Castor.
Yeah, a good kind of battle and arrival of Flynn Senior at this point, who has to come into the real world to sort out his kid's mistakes. So I like that kind of stuff when it's like he's just trying to keep himself out of it, but his kid arrives and just mucks everything up immediately, and he's got to go into dad mode, and he's just like very dude-esque, and he's like going about his zen and stuff.
Sam, you're messing with my Zen thing, man.
But we get a kind of nice showdown, I think, between our two Jeff Bridges and Jeff Bridges fighting on a bridge. You notice that? Yeah, I like that moment. And then, but obviously, we need to have a fight, so I think Clue just kicks him in the nuts. And, you know, I liked all that stuff, the nice father and son moment, sacrificing himself for his son. That all kind of worked for me and made it overall a better film than the original, because it's just got that emotional sort of tie-off, and it's much more kind of satisfying. And then if there's no more Tron, I'm fine with that. You know, I've got these two films, and I'm good with that. If there's a third one announced, I'll be there for it.
Because there's no going back.
Okay, well, I think that's us for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
End of line.